So we have the Bone Naga. Large undead with 15 AC, 9 hit dice, and a constitution score of 12. Skipping wisdom and charisma, because it's not using it. We will also be expecting a CR4 from this monster. Moving down, now that we have the base stats out of the way, we'll move down into the skills, conditions, and immunities and such. And we see that we only have damage immunities to poison, and since that's only the one condition, we will skip over this section entirely. Moving down into the spellcasting, which is going to take a while. Let's see here. What do we have? The Naga is a 5th level spellcaster. Ah, I see. So that's what that was about. So there's a split difference between if it was a wizard or cleric based Naga. I guess we'll just look at both. So we're going to skip over spellcasting for a moment and just get the actions out of the way, which it only has the one. And it can deal +5 to hit. And we're looking at a total of, let's see here, 10 piercing damage plus an additional 10.5 poison damage. So in total, we're just looking at 20 damage overall. And already our Naga is looking at a CR2 so far. But we need to take a look at the spellcasting to see what else might happen here. So we have cantrips of Mending, Sacred Flame, and Thaumaturgy. And Sacred Flame would be casted at its base level of range 4. We also have Command and Shield of Faith for level 1 spells, Calm Emotions and Hold Person for level 2, and Bestow Curse. So let's see here. For the cleric version, the Bestow Curse will probably be the big one here for the cleric version. So Bestow Curse is going to initially do 4.5 points of damage, but because it has such little damage it can do, I might consider this to be an effective 30 DPR. So let's see what happens when we shift that in and we mess about with this a little bit here. So come over to the workspace, and the first round of combat could be Bestow Curse, and that possibly would, since you would Bestow Curse and you would be concentrating on that spell, that would ride out on top of the other two. And on top of that, we have the regular bite attack of 20 damage, so we're looking at possibly 50 for this and 50 for this here for a total of 43. And then we would just switch this back to here and see if this does anything. That's where we're getting our Bone Naga CR4 from. Guardian version is going to be effectively a CR4 because of the Bestow Curse and the effective 30 DPR from casting a level 3 spell and having 2 slots of that. So if the Bone Naga has the Bestow Curse out and is concentrating on it and can hold it for at least 3 rounds of combat, plus doing its bite on rounds 2 and 3, we're looking at roughly a CR4 Bone Naga, which more or less works out, thankfully. Alright, back to this. Let's take a look at the wizard version of the Spirit Naga this time. Now for here, we have cantrips of Mage Hand, Minor Illusion, and Ray of Frost. Ray of Frost would be handy, but it's probably only going to do about 4 points of average damage here. Then we look at Charm Person and Sleep. Those are controlling spells, so we would go with the level 1 EDPR here of 10 for those. Detect Thought and Hold Person, again, those would be 12 or possibly 20 EDPR. And then we have Lightning Bolt, which thankfully we have actual damage for that one. And Lightning Bolt is just like your Fireball, and will end up dealing a total of 56 damage on average here. So I'm expecting this one to be a little bit more well, no, not necessarily. It may not necessarily be as dangerous. We could do it 2 times though. So let's see what happens here when we go back to the chart here and fill those in. So we would say round 1, Lightning Bolt for 56 points of damage. Round 2, Lightning Bolt again, provided we can get 2 targets in the Lightning Bolt at least. And then round 3, they're all out of Lightning Bolts. You can either do a Hold Person at possibly 20 effective DPR, or go for the Bite for an actual 20 DPR. And sure enough, we end up with an average of 44 damage for all 3 rounds of combat, and we end up with a CR4 again. Thankfully, both versions of the Bone Naga work out to be a CR4.